This is what you all voted for. This is what you voted for. I seen something the other day where a woman was saying, this is not what we voted for. Yes, it is. This is exactly what you voted for, because Kamala Harris told you exactly the way everything was going to roll. She explained it. She broke it down. She told you. But you went ahead and you still voted for this. Hello, good people. Welcome back. I want you all to listen to this. This is what's going on with this war. Listen to this. This is coming from the Midas touch, because we know that our local media is not giving us this information. We cannot rely on our media. You really need to be listening to the BBC, Tel Aviv, all of these other countries' news, because they're going to tell it like it is. But listen to this. This is coming from the Midas touch.
Hiding the fact that it has been sending drones to Iran, along with satellite imagery, targeting data, and intelligence support that has been crippling to the United States. And Vladimir Putin and Lavrov and Yushakov and Dmitriev, the crew that keeps on meeting with Witkoff and Kushner, who keep getting more concessions out of the United States, they're out there bragging and boasting that the United States military bases throughout the Middle East have been obliterated. You want to use the word obliterated, Donald? New York Times is reporting how Iran just wrecked all of America's Gulf bases. Kuwait collapsed roofs and smashed radar. 17 U.S. sites have been hit in the Middle East region. $800 million or more in damage in weeks. Our troops have basically abandoned all of the American military bases in the Middle East. May I repeat that? Our troops have abandoned basically all of the military bases in the Middle East, and now they are working remotely from hotels, while Iran is utilizing a spy network to try to find which hotels U.S. troops are at to target those hotels. Just take a look at this New York Times article, though, about how successful Russia has been at transferring this data to Iran to target these American bases, while Donald Trump continues to be a Putin bootlicker publicly. Now, the New York Times doesn't say, oh, well, Russia gave these coordinates. Just put together the Financial Times story about Russia just announcing that it's doing this, and the New York Times story, and it's obvious what is taking place right here. Just take a look right here at what the New York Times article says. Many of the 13 military bases in the region used by American troops are all but uninhabitable. Iran has bombed U.S. bases across the Middle East in retaliation for the U.S.-Israeli war, forcing many American troops to relocate to hotels and office spaces throughout the region, according to military personnel and American officials. By the way, this is leaking out because our commanders, our military leaders in the Middle East, are trying to send messages back home for us to hear them what a freaking disaster this war is. We hear you. We know the message you're trying to send. That's why we're making a video about it right here to educate the people how Donald Trump has thrown you all under the bus, and now you're all in hiding in hotels. It should be a pretty big story, right? And all our military bases are abandoned right now, and our soldiers and troops are hiding in hotels. So now much of the land-based military is in essence fighting the war while working remotely, with the exception of fighter pilots and crews operating and maintaining war plans and conducting strikes. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps has urged people to report these new locations as it hunts for the dispersed troops. U.S. military officials say that the threat is not stopping the Pentagon from carrying out the war against Iran, which is in its fourth week. Many of the 13 military bases in the region used by American troops are all but uninhabitable, with the ones in Kuwait, which is next door to Iran, suffering perhaps the most damage. 6 U.S. service members were killed in a strike on Port Shuaba that destroyed an Army Tactical Operations Center. Iranian drones and missiles also targeted the Ali al-Salam airbase, damaging aircraft structure and injuring personnel at Camp Buring, damaging maintenance and fuel facilities. In Qatar, Iran struck the Al Udeid airbase, the regional air headquarters of U.S. Central Command, damaging an early warning radar system. In Bahrain, a one-way Iranian attack drone struck communications equipment at the headquarters of the U.S. Fifth Fleet. At Prince Sultan Air Base in Saudi Arabia, Iranian missiles and drones damaged communications equipment and several refueling tankers. And folks, this data, these strike targets, these resources are coming from Russia. By the way, you know who was saying it?
Russia.
The foreign minister of Iran 3 weeks ago.
Trump
Iran
boy,
He was
Putin.
asked, remember I showed you the clip? Who was helping you? China and Russia. You sure? Yes. What are they doing? Militarily, economically, politically. The guy said it out loud. Well, I appreciate that the financial
China is helping too.
But he said it 3 weeks ago. That's what I was talking about.
Trump boy, Putin, has been sending this information back to Iran, giving them this information on how to locate these troops that have abandoned the U.S. bases in the Middle East. Now these people are held up in hotels, working remotely, but pretty much so on the run. All because this information is being given to Iran from Trump's boy Putin, and of course China as well. But my point is, we cannot depend on our local media to give us any of this information, any of it. They're not talking about it. And you know your president is not talking about it either. This man has truly effed up everything. The United States is effed up right about now. People are really going to see high prices of everything. People are not going to be able to feed their families the way that they need to. You're not going to be able to buy anything. We are going to see some tough times coming. People are already seeing it. But the point of this is basically the media is not going to give us any information that we really need to hear. Not our local media, not our world news. You're going to need to just start listening to other countries, the BBC, Tel Aviv, all of these other outlets that's going to give us the real deal information, because our country, the United States, is not going to give us this information whatsoever. These people are lying about everything. Everything. Trump has effed up this country like it's nothing. And it doesn't make sense whatsoever. But this is what you all voted for. This is what you voted for. I seen something the other day where a woman was saying, this is not what we voted for. Yes, it is. This is exactly what you voted for. Because Kamala Harris told you exactly the way everything was going to roll. She explained it. She broke it down. She told you. But you went ahead and you still voted for this. White people, Latino people, Hispanic people, some black people, you all voted for this. Don't backtrack now that you didn't vote for this. Yes, you did. You voted for this. You voted against your own interest. The woman told you straight up how it was going to be. And now you see it. And we haven't seen anything yet. But our troops are on the run in this country. And then they just deployed these people on the ground. What's the deal? These people don't even know what's going on. We are living in some horrible times right now. Horrible times. But if you have not started preparing, you need to start preparing. Absolutely, without a doubt. Y'all come below and tell me your thoughts on this. And if you enjoyed this video, please check out this next video because I think you will enjoy it.